Welcome to the PortaCount Academy, and thank you for attending ResFit 303 Database Management and Global FitPro Options. My name is John Morton, and my email address is john.morton@tsi.com. This course is going to focus on creating and changing the FitPro active database. We're going to talk about the merge, copy, and split functions, the three functions I find to be the most commonly used. And we're going to discuss how to transfer a FitPro database from one PC to another PC. And then we'll do a brief overview of the Global FitPro Options screen. During this presentation, you may see the following arrows appear. The yellow arrow representing a left mouse click with your computer mouse. The red arrow representing a right mouse click with your computer mouse. For the remainder of the presentation, I will refer to the PortaCount Pro Model 8030 and the PortaCount Pro Plus Model 8038 as simply the PortaCount Pro. So unless I state one model or the other, you can assume I'm referring to both. Now for this class, it may be helpful for you to follow along on your computer, and if you preferably have a USB flash drive, we might want to get that handy as well. So take some time, make sure that you've got the necessary equipment. Again, that's going to be a personal computer with the FitPro software installed on it and a USB flash drive, and one was sent with the PortaCount. So we're going to go ahead, and if you're working on another PC while you follow along, make sure that that PC is powered on and attach the USB flash drive to the computer. So we're going to begin this whole process by walking through creating and changing an active FitPro database. Now, via your computer, we're going to open the FitPro Fit Test software. This is typically done in one of two ways, either by double-clicking on the FitPro icon located on your desktop, or by opening the Windows Start menu, going to All Programs, to TSI Incorporated, to the FitPro folder, and then to the FitPro icon as shown here. Now some but not all of you are going to see this window appear. And this would appear when you open the FitPro software if the circled checkbox here had not been checked. So if you happen to use the same active database each time you run FitPro, it may be convenient for you to simply check this checkbox, and in that case you'll be bypassing this window in the future. In either case, go ahead and click OK. Again, when the FitPro software first opens, it prompts you to run the daily checks. Now for the purposes of this class, I'm going to have you say no. We don't want to run the daily checks right now. Instead, I want you to go to the Database tab across the top of FitPro, and then I want you to click on Change Active. Now take a moment to notice that in the upper left-hand corner of the FitPro software, in the title bar, we see which FitPro database is currently active and the address or location of that database. So now in the Change Active Database window, we're going to first create a new FitPro database. Just so you know, the database shown here, C:FitPro, fitprodata.mdf, is the default database. So we're going to click Create a New One. So click on Create New, and then in the Create New Database window, select Browse so that we can tell the application where to save the database to. Now in most cases, this is going to default to your FitPro folder as shown here. Now you could certainly go out and create a database in a different folder if you would like, but wherever you create it, it needs to be on this drive letter. So as we saw earlier, the database I am using is located on the C drive. It needs to be on the same drive letter that FitPro is on. Now, for those of you running on networks, you can create and access a database that is located on a network drive. But that drive must also have Microsoft SQL Server Express installed on it. And this is discussed more in detail in the appendix of the FitPro installation guide. Now, in my example, I'm going to use the database name of Shoreview based on my location. Feel free to use a different name if you have one in mind. Many people create new databases every year, so they may find it more useful to name it Fit Test Data 2011. I guess I should say Fit Test Data 2012. And then in January create a new one, Fit Test Data 2013. But again, some people prefer to use it based on locations, and that's the example I'll use. Once you have the file name typed in, you simply need to click on Save. Now we should see that file name appear in the Create New Database window, and I see that here, C:FitPro folder shoreview.mdf. And I go ahead and I click Create. And then once I get the successfully created message, I can go ahead and click OK. And we have just created a new FitPro database. Now we need to make it our active database. So to do that, I'm going to have you click on Exit. And then from this Change Active Database window, I want you to click on Browse. Now typically you're going to open up right into the FitPro folder, but whichever folder you are in, this is going to be displayed across the top. Now if you're not looking in the correct folder, use the Look In drop-down menu or the icons to the left to navigate to the folder where you had created the FitPro database. Then select the database, which in my case was in the default FitPro folder, and the database I'm looking to select is shoreview.mdf. Once I have that selected, I can click on Open. And we should see that database located in the address bar of the Change Active Database window. And it is here. It is circled in red. Once that's there, we click OK. And we can confirm that the active database has been changed by reviewing the title bar in FitPro. And we see here that I'm looking now in FitPro shoreview.mdf. Now we're going to switch gears a bit, and I'm going to discuss our copy, split, and merge function. I'm not going to walk through each step by step as we just did. I'm mostly going to define the benefits and the results of those functions. The copy function is just as its name describes. This will make a copy of an existing database, and it will be a direct copy of an existing FitPro database. So to view this feature, go to Database, and then go down to Copy. Now this is the window that you'll be looking at. We're going to take this screen section by section. At the top of the window, you're going to see you will select where the information or data is coming from. That's going to be your source database. And you're also going to choose where the information is going to. That's your destination database. Now the default is going to be whatever the name is of your source database, and then we add on copy of, as you see in the displayed here. But you can click on Browse and change the name of that database if you'd like to. In the lower right-hand corner, we have the option to copy all of the data or none of the data, and that can be dependent on what we're trying to accomplish. All of the data is going to be selected by default. Now some may question what would be the reason for selecting none of the data. Why not just create a new database? Okay, the reason is that this option copies your database settings, and we're going to talk about those later on, the global FitPro settings. But it won't copy any of the data, so you still maintain those settings. In the lower left-hand corner, you can choose to only copy specific tables. Now this comes in handy if you wanted to create a new database at the beginning of 2013, but you didn't need all the fit test information and didn't want to enter all the people in the respirators again. So you could choose the people table, and the respirator table alone to be copied. That way all of your fit test information from 2012 remains in the 2012 database, yet all your people and respirators are going to be in the 2013 database with a brand new fit test table ready to go. The split function is another feature that would help in similar situations. Again, I'm going to have you go to Database at the top, down to Utilities, and then to Split Database, the first option under the Utilities menu. Now again, we're going to take this into sections as well, but first notice the statement across the top. I want to reiterate this statement in saying that the split function copies data based on the date range. It does not remove data from the original database. Similar to the copy function, and this is similar to most functions in our database management, you need to select a source and a destination database. You can choose if you would like the fit test table or the daily table to be copied as well. On the right-hand side, we can choose which date we want to use in order to split the database. Whichever date is chosen, any fit test or daily checks that were taken on or after that date will be transferred, copied, to the new split database. Again, they're not going to be removed from the old one. They're going to be copied to the new. And again, this would be beneficial in a situation for, let's say, example, you're 2 months into 2013, and you decide, you know what, I really do want to have separate databases for each year. But I've already, done my 2012 fit testing, and I have 2 months of 2013 fit testing in that same database. What can I do? You can use the split database function. Come in here and set the date to January 1st, 2013, and the new database will only have data from 2013 and forward. Next, I'm going to talk about the merge function. This is going to be found under that very same Utilities menu. So go to the Utilities menu under Database and then click on Merge. This merge window is probably the most commonly used out of the 3 utilities that we've discussed here. Now, this would often be used in situations where you may work on a network, but maybe you hold fit testing off-site and aren't able to connect to your company's network. So when you return from fit testing, you want to merge your local fit test table, the one on your computer's hard drive, onto the network drive so as to update the network drive in the FitPro database. At the top, you're going to see the same functions we saw in the other 2 windows. Choosing a source database, which as before defaults to the current active database, and then selecting an already existing MDF FitPro database to merge the data into. And this is key. In that copy function and the split function, we were creating a brand new database. But in this case, the destination database is a database that already exists. So again, the example I used before, maybe the shoreview.mdf is the database that exists on my computer, but maybe I've got a database out on a network drive. So the destination database could be that database out on the network drive, and I can go and merge my database with that database. Now, I would mention at this point as well, you never get duplicate records in a SQL Server database. So don't be worried about, well, did I just do the merge function? Well, I don't know. And if I merge again, will I end up with 2 people with the same name and 2 fit test records that are identical and 2 respirator records, so on and so forth? That won't happen. You cannot have duplicates. At the bottom, you can choose whether you would like to merge all the records or just some of the records from the fit test table. And again, you can do this according to the test date. The example, you could choose to take only records from the fit test table that were done today and merge those into another FitPro database. You could do that. Now, I want to touch briefly on transferring a database from one computer to another. I wouldn't say this is very common, but it does tie well into what we just discussed. You would start by using the copy function and copy the database to a flash drive. Alternatively, of course, you could do the split function as well and create that split database on the flash drive. Then you could take and merge that data back into the FitPro software on the other computer. So you take that flash drive, go to the other computer, and merge that data onto that FitPro database. Okay, it's just a good example of some of the variety of functions that this software can do, and all of these steps can take place within the FitPro software. So now we're really going to change it up, switch gears completely, and sort of move away from database management. Though the Global FitPro Options screen certainly does play a role in database management, it is a little different. So again, in the title bar of the FitPro software, near the top above the icons, you can go to Setup and then Global FitPro Options. Or you can click on the icon across the top of FitPro, the one where there's a wrench and a screwdriver. Now, there's a lot to take in on this screen, so again, we're going to break this up into sections, and we're going to spend a little bit more time defining each item. So first, in the upper left-hand corner, we have the automatic save function. This allows you to choose whether or not you want to automatically save your fit tests. In our next section here, we've got the automatic termination feature. Here you can choose whether or not the software will simply stop the fit test if it knows that a passable overall fit factor is not achievable. This can help you save a lot of time. Rather than going through an entire fit test only to find out at the end that you weren't able to achieve the overall fit factor, you could have this option selected, and then one or two exercises fail. If that overall becomes unachievable, we let you know and we terminate the fit test right then and there, save you the time. In the upper right-hand corner, we have our language selection. This changes the languages of the menu options within the FitPro software. It does not change the names of custom fields or the names of exercises of the protocols. Those would need to be changed manually, but they can be changed. And it also affects the timestamp that is used. I'll speak more about those custom fields in just a moment. Now, here we have the automatic print function, which allows you to automatically print one copy of the fit test after the fit test is completed. There is also a print button available when you complete a fit test, just in case you don't want to do it automatically. You can also choose a different date format. Again, this is really for the benefit of our international colleagues, and the format of this date is going to be determined by which language you chose. At the bottom of the screen, we have a few other windows that we can open to the left and some various kind of miscellaneous options to choose from in the center. So first off, we can change our active database from this screen by opening the Change Active Database window. This is the same Change Active Database window that we saw earlier. We can also adjust our fit test card options. Now, I'm not going to go into further detail as to what these options are, but just notice that on this first window you can edit which company name is printed at the bottom of the fit test card. And that's typically what people are looking to do or are concerned with. So you can also select a fit test card printer through this menu by going to Change Settings. The last window to open will be the configuration window. You can change the wording used for the custom fields from this window. Those of you familiar with fit testing will have seen custom 1, 2, 3, and 4 as options on the select a person step in the fit test. So instead of custom 1, 2, 3, and 4, you could enter categories like weight, height, favorite color, whatever you wanted. And then during the fit test process, the person would be able to fill that information out. These can then be applied to various fit tests and people records by using the Apply Custom Names function, and that process is found under the Database menu. In the center, we have some miscellaneous options. We can choose whether or not we want a signature line to print out on the bottom of our reports. And for those people who want to use a delicate ID number, you may want to keep it hidden from other people that are being fit tested in the same room. So you can select to have those numbers appear as asterisks. And you can also select if we want to enable a warning in reference to suspicious fit factors. This is typically enabled by default, and the value is 100,000. So let's take some time to just explain that last one there, suspicious fit factors. Fit factors above 100,000 can be considered suspicious, and it could be a sign that there's a block or a kink in the mask line tubing. Now, what I would recommend if this was the case is that you would finish the fit test, and then after the fit test, you would open up the real-time fit factor display while the person still has the respirator donned. Okay? Then I would have the wearer of the mask purposely break the seal of that mask to their face. They can do this pretty easily by just sliding their finger between their face and the elastomeric part of the mask, or sliding a pencil in there, whatever you need to purposely break that seal. If the fit factor displayed on the real-time fit factor display does not drop off, then you may have a block or kink in the tubing preventing that sample from being taken. Now, if the fit factor display does drop when the seal is broken, as it should, then you probably did just have that good of a fit. It doesn't come up quite often, but it is something to look for, and if you'd like some more information on this, I would refer you to the webinar ResFit 301. So to summarize, we've gone over the steps of changing and creating an active database. We also discussed the steps we need to do to copy, split, and merge, and what those functions can provide for us. And then we went through the Global FitPro options menu to define what these options were so that you can better adjust them to fit your own fit testing protocol. I want to thank you again for watching ResFit 303. If you have any questions on this course or anything else pertaining to the PortaCount Pro Respirator Fit Tester or the FitPro Fit Test software, please refer to the online training center or the other web addresses listed up here. Also, of course, you can email me, john.morton@tsi.com. Thank you again for watching.